everyone, my name is John Ryan, and I'm the head of the client experience team here at AlphaTheory. For today's Did You Know with CX series, we're going to be looking at 4 features that you can use in the application during periods of high market volatility. First things first, we're going to take a look at the relative index adjustment. This adjusts the underlying price targets for a name by the percent change in the market since those scenarios were last updated. This allows you to account for any major market swings within your expected returns and prevents your optimal position sizes from fluctuating wildly during periods of market turmoil, say a novel coronavirus or a land war in Europe. The second piece that we're going to look at is the dynamic preferred volatility return hurdle. Right now, we have a return of 30%. What this does is it makes the return hurdle to put on a full position instead of 30%. It will make it be equal to the annualized volatility of the name. So take TAL and Microsoft, for example. Microsoft has roughly half the expected return of TAL, but is much less volatile. As it stands, TAL is getting a larger suggested position size, mostly due to its higher expected return. When I switch to volatility implied, and click Save, you will see the TAL position size go from 7% down to 3%, which is now less than the 4.3% of the Microsoft weighting. This forces your most volatile names to have greater return profiles in order to put on the larger positions relative to your less volatile names. The third way to account for volatility in your portfolio is to group them in dynamic tags based on the volatility. So for example, we can group the portfolio into 3 buckets: high vol, low vol, and neutral or average vol. In this case, you would have the portfolio then sorted into these three different buckets, and we could place rules on each of these buckets that specify maximum position sizes, the return hurdles to put on a full position in those buckets, and even the total gross exposure of the portfolio that you're willing to allocate to those buckets. So for example, if you wanted to allocate only no more than 30% gross exposure to high volatility names, you could do that by organizing them into these groups and setting the constraints at the tag level. Lastly, we're going to take a look at using volatility as a checklist item. So this would include volatility directly into your qualitative checklist. So take Tesla, for example. Right now, its volatility ranking here is low. If I move it to high, you'll notice that the confidence will go from 55 to 45%. That can change as you assign the weight to volatility. So in a period of high market volatility, you can increase the weight, and vice versa in a period that's relatively stable. You can set this manually, as I did here, or you can work with our client experience team to set up a dynamically calculated checklist item. As always, if you have any questions on any of these features or want to implement them into your rules engine in AlphaTheory, simply reach out to support@alphatheory.com or contact your client experience rep today.